The Pentateuch and the Septuagint, uncovering ancient texts, philosophy, and hidden truths. The power of words and the written legacy. Imagine standing in an ancient library, the air thick with the smell of parchment ink. Candles flicker, casting shadows across rows of scrolls. Scrolls that have survived centuries of war, fire, and time itself. On one of those scrolls lies something profound. Words that shaped religions, civilizations, and philosophies. These aren't just ordinary words, they are fragments of history, divine inspiration, and deep human thought. That library may not exist today, but its essence lives on. You might not think about this, but the words we read, speak, and believe have origins that go back thousands of years. Two of the most important texts in history are the Pentateuch and the Septuagint, foundational documents that influenced Judaism, Christianity, and the philosophy of countless thinkers. But their stories are not without mystery, conspiracy, and controversy. Today we're diving deep into these ancient texts, uncovering their origins, their purpose, and the philosophical, spiritual, and psychological impact they've had on humanity. This isn't just a history lesson. This is about how ideas shape the mind, the world, and the very core of what we believe. Before we get started, what's up? My name's Nick Jackson, and my channel is here to give you insights on philosophy, psychology, conspiracy, and spirituality. If any of those things are interesting to you, subscribe to my channel and make sure you like this video to help push me forward in the algorithm. And if you have a thought on anything from the video, start a conversation in the comments below. And by the way, I just had an allergic reaction, so my face is gonna be red for the next few days. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The Pentateuch, also called the Torah, refers to the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These books are considered the foundation of Judaism and also hold significant weight in Christianity. They tell stories of creation, laws, morality, and the covenant between God and humanity. They are, as philosopher Leo Strauss once said, the roots of Western morality. Now enter the Septuagint, a name that sounds almost mythical. The Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures, including the Pentateuch. It was commissioned around the 3rd century BCE in Alexandria, Egypt, during a time when Greek culture dominated the ancient world. The story goes that 72 Jewish scholars, 6 from each of the 12 tribes, translated the Hebrew text into Greek in precisely 72 days. Whether you believe the legend or not, the Septuagint became one of the most important texts in history. The philosophy behind the Pentateuch. At its core, the Pentateuch is not just a religious text, it's a philosophical guide to understanding morality, human nature, and the relationship between the finite and the infinite. Let's take the story of Genesis, for example. The story of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This isn't just about creation, it's about the order emerging from chaos. This mirrors ideas found in Greek philosophy, where figures like Heraclitus believed that out of discord comes harmony. The idea of a covenant between God and humanity, as seen in the Pentateuch, is also deeply philosophical. It suggests that humans are moral beings capable of choice, accountability, and transformation. The philosopher Immanuel Kant said, "Morality is not the doctrine of how we make ourselves happy, but how we make ourselves worthy of happiness." This resonates with the law of principles outlined in the Pentateuch, which emphasizes justice, integrity, and personal responsibility. The Septuagint marks a pivotal moment in history, the blending of Jewish tradition and Greek philosophy. Why is this so important? Because it brought the Hebrew scriptures to a broader audience and shaped how we interpret religion, philosophy, and spirituality today. The Septuagint was the version of the Old Testament used by early Christians, including the writers of the New Testament. But here's where the conspiracy comes in. Some scholars argue that the Septuagint's translation was altered to fit the Greek worldview. Words and meaning may have been lost or reshaped, leading to centuries of theological debate. This raises a profound question. Can truth survive translation? It's said that history is written by the victors, and language is no different. Words are power. Whoever controls the narrative controls the minds of the people. This idea goes beyond religion. It touches politics, media, and even our internal dialogues. Let's go into the psychology of these ancient texts and their impact on the mind. Why do texts like the Pentateuch and the Septuagint matter so much? Why do stories from thousands of years ago still shape our lives today? It's because humans are wired for stories. Psychologist Carl Jung believed that ancient myths and texts are more than stories. They are archetypes that reveal the deep truths of the human psyche. The Pentateuch, with its tales of creation, Exodus, and law, taps into our fundamental need for purpose, order, and redemption. It tells us that chaos can be conquered, that we are capable of transformation, and that we are part of something greater than ourselves. Take the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. On the surface, it's about freedom from slavery, but psychologically, it's about liberation from our internal struggles. We all have chains that hold us back: fear, doubt, and failure. The story of Exodus teaches us that with courage, faith, and action, we can break free. Both the Pentateuch and the Septuagint are deeply spiritual texts, inviting us to connect with something beyond ourselves. In today's world where technology and distractions dominate, spirituality can feel distant. But as Blaise Pascal said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. These ancient texts encourage us to pause, reflect, and seek meaning. They teach us to ask the big questions: who are we? Why are we here? And what is our purpose? Whether you view these texts as divine, historical, or metaphorical, they offer a pathway to explore life's deepest mysteries. Here's something to think about. If the Septuagint influenced early Christianity and shaped much of Western thought, what truths have been hidden or manipulated over time? Many scholars suggest that entire books, known as the Apocrypha, were removed or suppressed. Could this mean there are hidden teachings or knowledge that we've lost? This ties into the idea that knowledge itself is power, and throughout history, those in power have often controlled access to it. It's no wonder that people throughout time have asked, what truths are hidden from us? And what happens when we begin to question the narrative? The Pentateuch and the Septuagint are more than ancient texts. They are mirrors that reflect who we are as individuals and as a society. They challenge us to seek truth, to embrace morality, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. As Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. These texts encourage us to examine our lives, our beliefs, and our purpose. They remind us that words have the power to shape nations, inspire revolutions, and transform minds. As always, thanks for watching. Value learning, keep growing, and success will come. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with someone who loves diving deep into philosophy, spirituality, and hidden truths. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.